Good Saturday morning, everybody, or whoever's up this early. It's 7:42 here in Detroit, Michigan, so it's really not that early. But actually, I've just seeing why my pages aren't here. Um, there we go. There's one. But I'm just getting my butt moving here because this is my Friday. Actually, because we work Tuesday through Saturday over at whoop Detroit. It's early, man. I am moving very slow today. Um, our hours over at Wolverine are Tuesday through Saturday, so I'm just like I said, moving a little bit slow today, and no gym, and actually no Apple Annie, no breakfast. So just like I said, moving a little bit slow. You know what? I can't get all these right now. I'm still sleeping, I think. Let's get my boy Groot over here. He can help out run this stuff. But hope you guys had a great week, great work week last week, and gonna have a great weekend, man. And last night, all the little trick or treaters. Uh, I tell you, speaking of last night trick or treat, man. Thank God for the authorities. Thank God for the FBI and the powers that be that foiled a terrorist plot here in Michigan. I actually heard about it yesterday at work. We have our meetings at work before we start our day, and it was literally just breaking that they had information that uh, yeah, there were some group of individuals were planning a terrorist attack on Halloween. And we all know what Halloween is kind of focused on, and that's kids. You know, trick or treating, the costumes, the fun, the candy, and just the thought of that. Um, Terrorists in general, I think everyone knows, well, everyone's feeling about terrorism. Uh, Freaking evil ass bunch of pricks, usually a bunch of cowards that do shit behind the scenes. And it's pretty disgusting, no matter what. But when you specifically target, and again, I'm not saying one day's better than the other at all. But what I'm saying is they specifically targeted Halloween. And so there you go. You know, can you imagine? I don't know if it's the former, like I said, police officer in me. You know, you look at things differently. The former Detroit highwayman in me. You know, you look at things differently. You're always looking over your shoulder. You're always looking checking behind your back to see where you're about to get stabbed and who's about to stab you. Because unfortunately, in this world of ours, you know, you've heard that word. You can trust nobody. Well, you can trust God above, and you can trust the person. You know, you're looking in the mirror, but you know, um, you sit there and you hear these stories about individuals, and then you'll hear people say, "Well, that could never happen here." You know, terrorism's like addiction, man. It doesn't discriminate. Doesn't care who you are. You know, well, actually, I shouldn't say that because different. It depends on the group, and so I stand corrected because it does depend on who you are, what your beliefs are, what your your religion. I mean, so I stand corrected. But the point that is true is it can happen anywhere. And just the thought of, like I said, what I was getting at as far as what I was thinking about is you talk about opportunity. What a um, And I hate thinking this way. You know, a lot of people, when they look at something, they look at it black and white. I don't. And, here they're talking about how this was, thank God, they stopped us in time. And I was like, man, for a terrorist attack, great way to do it. Here you got a mass number of people who are running around in costumes, faces covered, in groups. Can you imagine what would have happened if this could have, if they didn't stop this, ahead of time? I mean, you could have literally had this planned where it was organized where they had like groups of 5, 10, who knows how many people walking the streets. And of course, with this type of activity, all they care about is the number of fatalities and casualties that they can make happen. All of a sudden, you get a big group of people who you think are a bunch of kids running around with their costumes on. All of a sudden, start pulling out guns and bombs and shit, shooting and blowing shit up. I mean, and the shock and awe is what makes people just freeze, that momentarily freeze, and then it just continues. And being that it's celebrated, so many different places and areas, you'd have one area happen, then you get a police response. Of course, it'd be a huge police and first responder response to that area. What a perfect opportunity then to do it again on like half hour later on the opposite side of town, and then so on. So bottom line is it didn't happen. And bottom line is, thank God for the authorities. So that's all I got to say about that. Um, let's get on to happier things, man. It's a beautiful day. I was just looking out the window and beautiful sunrise coming up. And before I get too farther at all, I'm not going to be on here much longer because I do have to get my ass moving and head to work. And like I said, moving a little bit slow today. Um, I just want to thank you guys so much for your birthday wishes, kind words, man. I tell you what, really, really appreciate it. Um, yep, I turned the big 60, 60 years old, man. Um, even Groot's just like, what? What? Yep, 60, man. Um, it was weird when you look down and you see the number 60. It's just like, no, that's not me. Yes, it is. And you hear people also say, "Oh man, it's only a number. It's you're only as old as you feel." I'm like, dude, don't tell me that. Because there's days when I feel 60, and there's days where I feel like let's just say a lot older than that. And this is one of those days. But seriously, man, I just want to thank you guys. It really uh really made my day. For me at this point, I know some people are real excited about, different days, different holidays, different everything, when special days, special meetings, special memories. And I'm the same way about things, but I think after 21, it was like, you know, eh. We all have those special, days as far as birthdays. Of course, 16, when we get our license, start driving. And then, of course, 21. And then it's just like, uh, okay, next thing you know, instead of looking forward to next year, so you are 16 to drive, or next year, so you are 21 to drink legally. Now, all of a sudden, it's just like, holy shit. It was just, I remember just celebrating. I still remember being at the Ritz, the bar on, for those of you in Michigan, Macomb County, there was a bar on Gratiot and Frazo. They went through a few names. It was the Rare Cherry, it was the Main Act, it was the Ritz. But my 21st birthday fell on a Sunday. I think. And they had uh, quarter night at the Ritz, draft beer in those little plastic cups for a quarter. But so that was my 21st birthday. And I remember my, God rest her soul, my anchor. I remember as a little shit. I'm talking like third grade, fourth grade, whatever it was, running around outside playing with all my buddies. And of course, it'd come to that time of the night to where you'd start hearing people yell, or the street lights are on, time to go home. Well, the thing is, my friends were always older than me, so they got to stay out later than I did. And I'll never forget always whining and complaining, why do I have to come in? But yet my friends don't. That's not fair. To which I heard, of course, well, they're older than you. And I remember telling my anchor, God, I can't wait until I'm older so I can do all these things that my friends can do. And here I am, like I said, in fourth grade, maybe, my aunt telling me this. And she looks at me and she goes, just listen. She goes, don't wish your life away, because the older you get, the faster time goes and time just will fly by. So here I am, this little shithead kid. And I remember going up to my mom and saying, Aunt Gert's crazy. She actually thinks that the older you get, the faster time goes. And here I am, this little, punk ass kid, you know, trying to make sense of this, saying, time is time. It doesn't matter if you're 6 or 60, time is time. Man, was Aunt Gert right? Because, man, I tell you what, it literally went from being that little fourth grader to sitting here in front of you as a 60-year-old. So, Aunt Gert, you were right. Lori, what are you doing up this? I keep saying this early, but for me, this is actually late. I'm usually on my normal gym days. I'm usually up and out by like 5:30. At the gym, working out, work out till probably 7:30. Go hit the gym or go get breakfast and then off to work. So for me, I keep thinking it's 6 o'clock or so, and it's going on, 8 o'clock. But good morning, Lori. I hope you have a great day in Athabama, since I renamed your state instead of Athens, Alabama. You are now Athabama. But and Lori, thank you and everyone else for like I said, I was just thanking everyone for all the amazing birthday wishes. Lori says she is doing some outreach today. Of course you are, Lori. There's not a day that goes by that you're not helping others, and that's what we love about you. And all the incredible people that I got to meet at your event that you're already getting ready for this coming June. Where'd Susie go? The Wonder Dog was here, but it's funny too, because when we're doing the shows and when OG's in studio, he runs right in here, and there's a corner chair, which is Susie's chair. She'll jump up in that bad boy, and she's usually sleeping within minutes. But when I'm in the studio alone, she hops right up here and is sitting like, or laying down right here, right in front. And every now and then she'll make her debut, get a little camera time, and off she goes. But not today. She did that a little bit earlier. Carol, how are you, Carol? Good Saturday morning. I hope you have a great day. Up and at it early. Yes, getting ready to head into Wolverine Harley and have a wonderful day with all my Wolverine family. It was a beautiful day, man. It's a little bit chilly here. It's in the upper 40s, low 50s, so it's a little bit cold. Man, this damn shirt is choking me. I hate shit around my neck. But another chilly day today. But man, I tell you what, man, when you get weather like this for Harley, for bike riders, man, is it nice. You dress appropriately with the right gear on. and you're fine. You are fine. Just like people say, "Oh, it's too cold." No, it's not. I mean, if you go outside, wearing stuff that you would wear in spring time, you know, to wear during winter time, yeah, of course. Dress appropriately, man, you'll be fine. When it comes to if you're spending time, we were talking about that actually with some of our people who were coming in on dropping their bikes off because little, uh, little, uh, let's see, announcement. Wolverine Harley Davidson, come and store your bikes over at Wolverine. We will have them covered in a heated warehouse with a battery tendered going. So if you're interested in storing your bike, come see us at Wolverine Harley at 44660 North Gratiot Avenue in Clinton Township. I did my public service announcement for the day. Um, but we do have a lot of people who will come in and wait till the last minute. It cracks me up when people say, well, riding season's over. I've never seen anything in a book or a calendar where it says riding begin, riding end. You know when riding season ends or where riding time ends? When I get off my bike. And it starts when I get on it. There's been times when I first got my Fat Boy back in 2001 or two, whatever it was. I got it right at the beginning, middle of fall. And it was one of those Detroit winters where it was just cold. And we would get flurries, but nothing measurable. It was just one of those winters where it was more gray and cold. I rode pretty much 90% of the time. I was so excited to have my bike. I mean, my going to work ritual was even earlier than getting up to get ready for the gym because I had to layer up because here I am, man. October, November, December, January. A lot of us do a ride called the Polar Bear Run that we would do on New Year's Day, and you got it, man. We're up and out. Some of us still up from the night before, and but you know what? You come in and you're geared up. You're dressed in layers. You got the proper clothing on. You're fine. So, anyways, like I said, I didn't make it to the gym, which is really starting to piss me off. I you know, have to take it easy. Unfortunately, the back and everything else, I'll just blame it on 60. There you go. It's 60. It's the number which is slowing me down. It's not the body falling apart. But it's one of those things where you just have to listen. And for 59 years, I really haven't done that. So I figure now that I'm starting to, get a little older and wiser. All right, we'll stick with older. Um, not, I'm just going to have to take it easy on the back. Christy, our Athens, Alabama family. Look at you. Christy Stutz, good morning, Manny, from my group to yours. Well, Christy, good morning from my group to your group. I hope you have a great day. And Lori's up there too. She's up with us this morning along with Carol. And it is 8:01 a.m. in the morning here, Eastern time, 8:01 Eastern time in Detroit, Michigan. And this old boy is gonna get moving here because now that I missed my apple Annie French toast with powdered sugar, 2 or 3 sausages, depending on the cook's mood, coffee, and water. Now I have to stop and get even a healthier breakfast and a start to the day, which in this case is going to be 2 sausage and egg McMuffins, 2 orders of hash browns, large coffee with 6 cream and 6 sugar. So there you go. But seriously, Carol, Lori, Christy, I hope you have a great day. And today is Saturday. So work until 5 instead of 6. And then It's going to be a kind of a mellow night tonight, just relaxing the body again. We are going to be going live again tonight. Um, so I'm not sure what time. Shocker there, I know, but it'll probably be, I'm guessing, around 7:30 ish. Had to say it. So if you're not out on the town having fun in Alabama or wherever you may be, pop in and see us, man. We'll chit chat. We're going to discuss our guest on Monday, which is going to be an incredible guest. Dave Stevens, the 7-time Emmy award-winning producer from ESPN. And we'll be talking about Dave and his amazing life and everything that he's doing, helping so many people, just like Lori and just like Christy and Carol and just like everyone else in his family. So have a great day, guys. Enjoy every moment. And just remember, addiction's only a word. It's not a death sentence. And just keep fighting that good fight. And the best is definitely yet to come. Love you guys. Have a great day.